The year is finally coming to an end, and with that we can also finally take a look at the best movies of this year. Obviously this is only my opinion, and I would love to know your favorite movies of this year in the comments, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's start off with a few honorable mentions. Okay, if I'm being honest, I think it's only one honorable mention, but it was a fantastic movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm not sure, but I think this might be my favorite comic book movie and superhero movie in general of the last 5 years, apart from another comic book movie that will appear later on. I love this. This was probably the perfect ending to this beautiful trilogy. The characters are emotional, you really care for them, some heart-gripping emotional scenes. I generally definitely recommend this movie. I love it. Okay, now let's start off with the actual list, and on number 5 we have The Creator. Personally, I think this is the most underrated movie of the year. I heard a few critics actually praising it, but most of the people were saying it is mid or not that great. Also, a lot of people said it was good, but I personally really enjoyed it, and I also praised this movie. I enjoyed every minute of it. The casting was perfect, and the dynamic between the main character and the kid was also very good. And yeah, again, the acting was great. I mean, the kid is a really good actress. I did not expect her to be that good, considering that most child actors are quite trash. But yeah, she was doing really well in the movie. And yeah, the characters have some very interesting and deep backstories. And in general, I think this was a very emotional movie. Definitely recommended for every sci-fi fan. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. On place 4, we have Past Lives. I did not expect to enjoy this movie that much, especially considering that it's not exactly my type of movie. But yeah, here we are. This was a beautiful movie. I think what I especially loved was probably the backstory and, you know, some themes that it touched on. I mean, with backstory, I mean the backstory of the different characters, and also some of the deeper themes that were touched on. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but yeah. And I also really enjoyed the solution to the problem, because in the end, she doesn't exactly know who she falls in love with. And I think the solution to that is something very realistic, which might be unexpected for some people, but in the end makes the most sense, and it's probably the best way to conclude this movie. Really emotional. Yeah, as I said, I did not expect to love this movie that much. Here we are, 4th place of the best movies in 2023, in my opinion. On number 3, we have, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie, and also probably the best animated movie of all time, and that was also the best comic book movie of the last 5 years. In my opinion, probably also the best comic book movie of all time, Across the Spiderverse. Holy fuck, that was incredible. I loved the animation, the character arcs, the backstory of all characters. Everything was just so beautifully put together. The action was fantastic. Again, the dialogues, the dynamics between each characters all felt so real. There are some really smart ways to use the animation. For example, using characters with different frame rates and such stuff, which is just so incredible. Compared to other multiverse movies, for example, Doctor Strange 2. I love that movie, but I always felt like it didn't go crazy enough with the multiverse. This movie absolutely goes as crazy as possible with the multiverse. It is just such a fun movie to watch. The animation, again, is just a perfect treat for the eyes. Definitely recommend this movie, even if you're not a Spider-Man fan, even if you're not a Marvel fan. I definitely recommend this movie. The runner-up in best movie of the year, in my opinion, is Oppenheimer. I absolutely love this movie. I think maybe not everybody's going to like it, considering there is a lot of talking, pretty much consistent 3-hour long talking without any break in it. But it kept me entertained for all these 3 hours. I think the best scene was probably the detonation of the atomic bomb. I was so stressed the first time watching, and also the second time, and that is a rare thing to happen to me. And The music was also fantastic. The acting, Cillian Murphy absolutely kills that role. He absolutely knows how to make the audience feel what the character is feeling. He's just so good in this movie. Generally, Christopher Nolan is a really good director, and I think this movie is definitely one of his better ones. Not the best. I preferred Interstellar and perhaps a few other movies than this one, but this was still very good. Yeah. It also makes you feel the fear of nuclear weapons, especially in the ending. So well done. Definitely recommended. And in the first place, in my opinion, for the best movie of the year, Godzilla Minus One. I was shocked. I had so high expectations for this movie, considering I'm a Godzilla fan, and still somehow I was positively surprised. I'm glad that also non-Godzilla fans and critics are loving this movie, and that many people are now understanding what Godzilla was originally meant to be. Now, where should I start? Let's start off with Godzilla himself. The action is fantastic, the CGI is mostly flawless, especially considering the fact that this only costed 15 million. It is incredibly well done. And yeah, Godzilla is a fucking menace. Like, he doesn't give a shit about the main characters or anything. He just tears through the city and destroys everything. The atomic breath scene was so destructive, I just can't put it into words. And you actually care for the characters. I'm always the type of guy who said, of course in a Godzilla movie you need good monster action, but the characters should be also well written. And finally a movie which had the perfect balance between human characters and the good Godzilla action. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I absolutely love this movie. I don't think I can put into words how much I enjoyed this movie. Really, definitely recommend it, even if you're not a Godzilla fan. Obviously, if you're a Godzilla fan, you'll like it even more, but this was really fantastic. I had high expectations and I still got surprised, like holy fuck. Now guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, please tell me your top 5 movies of this year in the comments. Yeah, that's it. See ya guys.